The Galactic Coalition had long labeled Viridian 9 as a Class 0 Deathworld, a title reserved for planets where survival was near impossible due to toxic air, fierce storms, and deadly creatures lurking in every shadow. To most species within, the Coalition, sending beings there was a sentence to certain death. Yet despite the planet's notorious reputation, it had become the chosen ground for a new experiment, a human colony and military training base, quietly assigned to a group, many dismissed as expendable. The humans arrived aboard a battered transport, descending through thick greenish clouds that crackled with static electricity, the atmosphere heavy with unfamiliar smells that burned their lungs. Watching from orbit, alien officials in sleek command centers exchanged knowing glances, confident they would soon witness the swift end of this seemingly fragile species. They did not expect what came next. Upon landing, the humans wasted no time. Their leader, Captain Maya Trent, ordered the troops to spread out, gather local materials, and secure the perimeter. What baffled the observers was how quickly the humans adapted. Without advanced equipment, they fashioned shelters from giant, leaf-like plants and twisted vines, weaving natural fibers into protective walls. They crafted basic tools from sharp stones and tough wood, and soon small teams ventured cautiously into the dense jungle beyond, mapping safe paths and marking dangerous zones. Their movements were careful but determined, a steady rhythm of survival instincts honed over generations on Earth's wildest frontiers. The native creatures of Viridian 9 were unlike anything the humans had encountered before. Massive insects with armor-like shells, aggressive reptiles that slithered silently through underbrush, and birds with razor-sharp talons that hunted in packs. Several times patrols came under sudden attack, forcing quick thinking and teamwork to fend off the deadly beasts. One young soldier narrowly escaped a venomous sting by slashing the creature with a sharpened spear, while another used a crafted sling to strike down a predator from a distance. Captain Trent observed these encounters with a calm intensity, noting every tactic and weakness, silently filing the data away. Unlike the alien spectators who underestimated the humans, Trent knew their greatest strength lay not in technology or raw power, but in their refusal to give up. Each night, as storms raged and eerie howls echoed through the camp, the humans gathered around flickering fires to share stories and plans, reinforcing their bond and fueling a growing hope that they could survive this deadly world. Back on the orbiting ships, whispers spread among the coalition, reports of humans not only holding their ground but learning and evolving quickly. Some officials grew uneasy, fearing that this resilient species could upset the fragile balance of power in the galaxy. Yet the majority still expected that soon, nature's brutal hand would crush the colony. But Captain Trent had other ideas. In quiet moments, she would stand alone on the ridge overlooking the dark jungle, watching the strange sky swirl with violent storms, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. We were sent here to die, she thought. But we will show them that humans don't just survive, they conquer. The night before the first major hunt, she gathered her closest advisors and spoke with fierce determination. This planet tests us at every turn, but it will not break us. We will learn from it, fight with it, and in time we will make it ours. Unknown to the aliens watching from afar, the humans had already begun to change the story of Viridian 9, transforming a death sentence into a new beginning. As dawn's first light pierced the heavy mist, Captain Trent led a scouting party deeper into the forest where unknown dangers waited. Yet her eyes shone with unwavering resolve. The Deathworld had not claimed them yet. It had only awakened the true strength of humanity. Life on Viridian 9 was a constant battle, and the planet seemed determined to test the humans at every turn. Acid rain fell without warning, sizzling the tops of their shelters and forcing them to seek cover beneath the thick canopies or hurriedly deploy makeshift shields crafted from the large waxy leaves they'd discovered. The air carried a sharp, bitter scent that irritated their throats, and the ground was treacherous, often slick with a strange, oily substance that made each step uncertain. The native creatures were relentless and dangerous, enormous, carnivorous. Insects the size of dogs patrolled the perimeter of their camp, their mandibles clicking menacingly, while venomous plants with tendrils that whipped at anything moving tested their nerves. Each day brought a new challenge, pushing the limits of human endurance and forcing them to rely on more than just brute strength. But instead of surrendering, the humans used their unique combination of curiosity, innovation, and unbreakable teamwork to turn the planet's dangers into opportunities. They studied the behavior of the local wildlife, observing how predators hunted and how prey escaped, learning to anticipate threats rather than react blindly. In the dense jungle, they discovered plants with strange glowing flowers that, when prepared carefully, could heal wounds and reduce fever. Slowly, the humans began to gather these natural medicines, sharing knowledge and experimenting with combinations to improve their chances of survival. One of the most surprising breakthroughs came when a young biologist, Lena, managed to calm a fierce six-legged beast using a mixture of herbal scents and gentle movements. This creature, a massive insect with iridescent wings, eventually accepted, the human's presence allowing them to ride it through the dense forest, a feat no other species had achieved. News of these successes traveled far beyond Viridian 9. The Galactic Coalition's command centers buzzed with whispers of miracle humans who defied expectations, turning a death trap into a thriving outpost. The aliens who once sneered at the human colonists now watched with a mixture of awe and unease, realizing these humans were not merely surviving. They were adapting and thriving in ways no one had predicted. Rival factions within the coalition began to reconsider their dismissive attitude, some even quietly fearing that humans might upset the careful balance of power in the galaxy. Meanwhile, the humans deepened their understanding of Viridian 9's ecosystem. They discovered how to use certain plants as natural repellents against the deadly insects and learned to navigate the jungle by recognizing patterns in the sounds and movements of the wildlife. Their shelters evolved, becoming stronger and more comfortable, blending with the environment to avoid attracting predators. Despite these advances, the planet's hostility never ceased. Storms rolled in with thunderous fury, flooding their camps and forcing urgent evacuations. Night brought chilling howls and eerie lights that danced just beyond their fires, reminders that Viridian 9 was never truly safe. Yet with every challenge, the humans grew more confident. Captain Maya Trent's leadership became a symbol of hope and resilience. She encouraged her people to push beyond fear, to embrace the unknown and to see the planet not as an enemy but as a harsh teacher. "This world will not break us," she reminded them often. "It will make us stronger." Slowly, the lines between survival and mastery began to blur. Humans were no longer just fighting to live. They were starting to claim Viridian 9 as their home. As the weeks passed, the once skeptical alien observers were forced to acknowledge that these humans were something new, a species that thrived where others perished. And with that realization came a dangerous new idea. If humans could conquer a Class 0 Deathworld, what might they be capable of elsewhere? The stirrings of unease grew louder, and hidden agendas began to form. The humans, however, remained focused on the jungle and the future they were building. Their bonds tightened, forged in the fires of adversity and shared purpose. They trained each other in new tactics, blending Earth's ancient survival skills with their discoveries on Viridian 9. Together, they faced the wild, not as prey, but as hunters, and with every passing day the wild fought back and lost a little more ground. Viridian 9, already a planet of relentless challenges, unleashed its fiercest fury when a massive storm swept over the human camp, turning the sky into a dark, roiling sea of thunderclouds and crackling lightning. The wind howled like a living creature, ripping through the fragile shelters and sending debris flying with deadly force. Torrential rains, acidic and burning the skin, pounded the ground, flooding the carefully constructed pathways and washing away supplies in minutes. The humans, caught off guard but never defeated, scrambled to secure what they could, shouting orders over the roaring tempest as they fought against nature's overwhelming power. For hours it seemed that the storm would tear the colony apart, crushing their hopes with every gust and strike. But amid the chaos, Captain Maya Trent's calm voice rose above the storm, rallying her people to one final plan they had been developing in secret. an advanced warning and shelter system engineered from scavenged alien technology discovered during their explorations. This system, a network of sensors hidden among the trees, detected the early signs of approaching storms and sent alerts that triggered emergency protocols. The shelters, reinforced with energy shields and adaptive materials, folded into secure pods designed to withstand extreme pressure and corrosive rain. As the storm raged, the humans activated this technology, retreating into their pods just as a violent uproar tore through their camp. When the skies finally cleared and the storm passed, the colony emerged largely intact, a few damaged structures aside. This incredible survival sparked a wave of shock and admiration across the galactic coalition. Some members who had quietly hoped the humans would fail found themselves forced to respect the tenacity and ingenuity that allowed the colonists to endure such a disaster. Yet, others grew uneasy, their fear morphing into panic. If humans could survive and even thrive in a world meant to kill them, what did that mean for the balance of power that kept the galaxy in check? Whispers of human resilience spread, and old prejudices began to give way to wary caution. While the coalition grappled with this new reality, Captain Trent's discovery deepened the mystery of Viridian 9. During a post-storm reconnaissance mission, a faint, unusual energy signature had caught her attention deep beneath the planet's surface. Following it, she and her team uncovered ruins of an ancient civilization, long buried and forgotten, their technology still faintly humming with dormant power. The artifacts hinted at a level of advancement beyond what the galaxy currently understood. Machines and devices that could manipulate energy in ways that could redefine survival itself. This discovery sparked excitement but also grave concern. Unlocking this ancient power could provide the humans with an edge no other species possessed, tipping the scales irreversibly. Captain Trent knew the risks, but also saw the opportunity. This was more than a chance to survive. It was a chance to lead. As her team began to study the relics, tensions mounted both on Viridian 9 and across the Coalition's political halls. Allies debated strategies. Rivals schemed to control or destroy the human colony before it could become unstoppable. But the humans, hardened by storms and adversity, pushed forward. They integrated the ancient technology cautiously, testing its limits while maintaining their focus on survival and unity. For Captain Trent, the turning point was clear. The humans were no longer just survivors on a hostile world. They were becoming pioneers of a new era, capable of shaping their destiny in a galaxy that had once written them off. The storm had been a brutal test, but it had also been the moment humanity proved it could face extinction and emerge stronger, armed not just with tools, but with hope and determination that burned brighter than any tempest. The deeper the humans ventured into the heart of Viridian 9, the more they uncovered secrets buried beneath layers of rock and time, secrets that hinted at a once great civilization, brought low by the same merciless world that now tested their own survival. Captain Maya Trent led her team down into vast, underground chambers where the walls shimmered faintly with alien symbols and technology long dormant, but still humming with latent energy. These relics spoke of advanced knowledge, machines that manipulated energy fields, devices that controlled environmental conditions, and defense systems that could shield entire regions from harm. As the humans carefully studied the ruins, their engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to reactivate what they could, adapting the ancient technology with their own ingenuity. The process was slow and cautious, for they knew that disturbing this power came with risks. The planet's unforgiving nature had already claimed the civilization, and the humans had no wish to repeat that history. Yet when they finally succeeded in reawakening a defensive grid beneath the surface, a system that could create protective energy barriers and monitor vast areas, a new sense of hope spread through the colony. This breakthrough did more than protect the humans from the deadly wildlife and brutal storms. It gave them a strategic advantage unseen before on Viridian 9. Word of the discovery spread quickly beyond the planet, reaching ears across the galactic coalition. Alien factions, once content to write off humanity as insignificant, suddenly saw them as a force with the potential to disrupt the galactic order. Some sought to control the humans by offering uneasy alliances, while others whispered of preemptive strikes to destroy what they feared might become a threat. But the humans, forged by hardship and driven by the desire to secure their place in the galaxy, stood united. They reinforced their defenses, trained harder, and prepared for any challenge that might come from outside forces. Inside the colony, the bonds between soldiers, scientists, and settlers deepened, bound by a shared struggle and a common goal. Captain Trent's leadership was more vital than ever, guiding her people with steady resolve and unwavering faith in their collective strength. The ancient technology became a symbol of their resilience, a reminder that even in the face of extinction, survival was possible, and with it, the chance to shape the future. As alien ships began to approach Viridian 9, drawn by the promise of power buried beneath its surface, the humans readied themselves for the inevitable confrontation. The planet, once a silent killer, had become a battleground where the will of humanity would be tested against the ambitions of the galaxy's greatest powers. Yet even as the tension mounted, the humans were no longer the fragile species they had been at arrival. They had unearthed a power not just of machines, but of spirit, unity, and determination. And in this crucible of fire and challenge, they would prove that their survival was not a matter of chance. It was a matter of choice, courage, and unyielding will. The fight for Viridian 9 was only beginning, but the humans were ready to meet it head-on, their eyes set firmly on the stars and their future in the vast, unknown reaches beyond. With their defenses fully active and their colony steadily growing stronger, the humans of Viridian 9 reached a turning point that would echo across the galaxy. The once dismissive whispers about expendable humans had transformed into a powerful broadcast sent from the planet's command center, a clear and unyielding message that declared humanity was no longer a species to be ignored or underestimated. Captain Maya Trent's voice, firm and confident, carried across communication networks far beyond the planet's atmosphere. We have survived what was meant to destroy us. We stand not as victims, but as victors. Humanity claims its place in the stars. This declaration sparked waves of reaction throughout the galactic coalition. Some factions, once eager to see the humans fail, now saw an opportunity for alliance, recognizing that the humans' resilience and newfound technology could be invaluable. They proposed negotiations, hoping to bring humanity into the fold as a strategic partner, rather than an unpredictable wildcard. However, not all welcomed this change. Rival powers, threatened by the rise of a new force, tightened their grip on military resources and prepared for conflict, wary of what humans might do if left unchecked. Reinforcements arrived on Viridian 9, not just to support the colony, but also to observe and test the limits of human strength and determination. The arrival of alien fleets and diplomatic envoys turned the planet into a focal point of galactic politics, a stage where past prejudices and fears clashed with the undeniable proof of human tenacity. Throughout the colony, Captain Trent and her people remained vigilant, balancing diplomacy with readiness, knowing that the future of not just their settlement but possibly the entire galaxy hinged on their actions. As they expanded their territory, cultivated new resources, and integrated the ancient technology they had uncovered, the humans demonstrated a rare blend of humility and ambition. Their success became a beacon of hope for other species who had faced oppression or near extinction, inspiring whispers of rebellion and dreams of freedom. The legend of humans surviving and thriving on a Class 0 Deathworld spread far and wide, turning a story of hardship into one of triumph and defiance. The galaxy watched, captivated by a species that had transformed a world of death into a fortress of life and strength. This new era was not just about survival, it was about rewriting what was possible. The humans had shown that no environment, no obstacle, could suppress the will to endure and grow. In the coming days and years, the decisions made around Viridian 9 would shape alliances, ignite conflicts, and redefine the balance of power. But amidst uncertainty, one truth stood clear. Humanity had arrived, not as pawns, but as a force destined to leave an indelible mark on the cosmos. And as Captain Trent looked out over the thriving colony beneath alien skies, she knew their story was only beginning.